I kind of feel like I'm in like a reality show, like confession booth. I'm in like a little small corner of my room because everything else is really messy still. And I'm like not comfortable like showing like my whole house yet. So this is the only space that you'll be able to see until I feel comfy sharing where what my living situation is. Also, I'm trying new lipstick, so if it looks ugly, I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Whitney, and today I'm going to be just giving you guys a little update on my situation. I just thought I would talk to you guys about my experiences so far and what I've done, what I haven't done, what I want to do. Just kind of like a fun sit down video. That's probably gonna be so boring. You don't care, but I care. I guess the first question I get asked the most is, how are you? I'm doing good. Honestly speaking, like for real, during the day, I'm fine. I'm always trying to keep myself busy, or I have work, or I hang out with, you know, a friend or two, but at night, it is kind of hard. At night, I do get a little lonely, a little homesick, but usually I fall asleep pretty quickly and then wake up and I'm too busy to even think about that. But I think I'm not the only one feeling like that. I know a couple of other people that are in the EPIC program that I stay in touch with have said that they've had the same experience of where like at night it's kind of lonely, but like during the day everyone is fine. So yeah, it just kind of gets kind of blech at night, but during the day I'm okay. I guess another question I get asked a lot is like, how is it with speaking Korean, and do people speak English to you? I would say 50-50. Like whenever I want to speak Korean and whenever I go out of my way to speak Korean to other people here, majority of the time they will answer me back in English. I know like a lot of people in Korea want to practice their English, and right now because of COVID, probably they haven't seen many foreigners or haven't had a lot of opportunities to speak in English. So I understand like why that occurs a lot. But then sometimes when I am like, my brain doesn't work and where I'm like, I don't know how to speak Korean in this situation, and I go in thinking like, okay, well maybe they'll just like, someone will like be able to like, we'll be able to communicate a little bit in English. I go into the situation and it's like 100% Korean. They're speaking very quickly and I'm just smiling because that's all I can do in the situation is smile and cry. I think a majority of the time people know that I'm trying, and people know that like I'm putting forth effort into trying to communicate and understand in their native language, so they have a little bit of patience. I will say I've only had probably 1 or 2 people be like, come on, like what do you want, like stuff like that, and that's happened and I've kind of like shut down and kind of gotten embarrassed about it, but it hasn't occurred like a lot since I've been here. But at restaurants, usually like people me and my friend were in Incheon. We were in the Chinatown actually, and we were looking at the menu outside, and like there's the staff member, I guess he was a waiter, he was outside and he was kind of looking at us, and then like I was like, please don't come up here and talk to me, please don't come up here and talk to me, and I saw him walking and he was like, do you guys need help? And I was like, oh, he's speaking English, and I was like, oh, like, oh, 괜찮아요, like I'm okay, like wait, like what's delicious? And then he was like, do you like dumplings? And he went on and on about like the menu in English, and we're like, okay. And then like in the restaurant, like me and my friend like would speak Korean to the waitress, but she would always be like, okay, so you want 1 Coke, 1 Sprite, like she would speak in English to us. But I will have to say that spot was a very touristy area, so probably all the restaurants and shops speak some English. But that's probably a funny example I have for you in that situation. It might be different for other people. And also, I don't live in Seoul. I know I've heard that in Seoul, like a lot more people speak English. But yeah, I'm just like right outside of Seoul, so I don't know. It's a toss up. Another question I get asked is like, how's my work situation? I was very nervous, honestly. I've heard that like in the EPIC program, some people have fabulous co-teachers, some people have, you know, not so good experiences. Right now, I've only been at work for 3 weeks, so maybe a month now, and I've had a great experience so far. I have 2 co-teachers. They're really sweet and kind to me, and they help me with, I try not to ask them a lot of questions because I know they're busy with doing their own things and having their own lives. But if I ever have a question, they answer it and they try to help me, and they're very thorough. And I think I'm very lucky to have people that are very kind and patient with me. And my kids, I teach 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade. I alternate different days because the COVID situation in this school, certain grades come to school on designated days. So like Monday I have 6th grade, Tuesday I have 5th grade, you know, so on. But and sometimes I have online classes. But the kids, they are so cute and they're so smart. A lot of them I think are very shy and don't think they're very good at English, but they're really good. 3rd graders are especially very fun. I really like my 3rd grade classes. They're loud, but they're excited, and I just haven't been in a classroom for about 2 or 3 years, so I kind of missed the chaos of it all. I missed it. It's a lot of fun. Also, I haven't gotten any questions, but I know it's something that I was worried about when I came to Korea. Was like, is it easy to make friends? Especially like, I'm an introvert, and I would say like coming in with the EPIC program, there's a bunch of people like in your situation, so like we're all like in the same boat, and I feel like if I ever had a question, I could reach out to people, and I think everyone here is very nice and kind, and like I think it's still difficult for me to reach out first, or like try and, you know, communicate first, because I'm never the person to do that. I just don't make friends very easily. But I will say that this is why I'm here. I'm here to push myself out of my comfort zone. So I have been like texting people, like saying like, do you want to hang out? Do you want to do this? Do you want to go here? And I feel like this is really good exposure therapy for me. Like, honestly, like, I'm a very anxious person, and I get anxieties about little things. Like, even in America, like, ordering my own food is terrifying. So like, imagine like you're in a different country, you don't speak the language fluently, and you already get anxious talking to people, but you're gonna have to talk to people in a different language. Like, that's scary. It's scary. And I haven't done it a lot. I will admit that I do go out with people and like kind of like say, okay, are you gonna talk to them or me? But I have done it some, and I do it a lot when I go shopping, like grocery shopping. Like, I have to talk to the cashier, I have to talk to the people who are checking me out and giving me my stuff. So yeah, I think it's really good exposure therapy for me. And oh, another question I get asked is, how your apartment? Like I said, I will not show you my apartment because I don't really like people knowing where I live, and it's messy all the time. Like, no matter how much I clean, I'm just like not satisfied with, like, I just think it's so junky in here because I have so many stuff. Maybe one day I'll show you. But my apartment was really nice. My teacher at first, when we were driving here, this was like my first day I met her and we were driving to my apartment, she kept saying like, oh, like the building is pretty old and we're so sorry, like me and the other person were trying to look for a apartment for you that was nicer, but like they didn't have any available, and this was kind of like last minute, and I'm kind of sorry. And she was like, she was really underselling it. She was underselling it. I was like, where do they have me living? I was a little hesitant, but we got here, and like, yeah, the building is kind of old, the elevator is kind of old, but we got in the room And it's like, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's so bright in here. Like I have huge windows, like this is only one part of my window. It's so big, it goes all the way to the ceiling. I can see like outside, I see mountains and I see like the city skyline, and it's beautiful. And like it is a studio. I don't have like multiple rooms. I have one big room where my bed is. It's really big, like a lot of space to walk around and move around. I might even like put a couch eventually when I get there. I have like a little like small kitchen. I don't really cook, so that's not really important to me. I have not turned on the stove. The only time we turned on the stove was when she showed me how to turn it on. I have not turned it on. I've been cooking things in the microwave or eating out, so I really didn't care about the size of my kitchen. But my kitchen's pretty like small, but it's decent. I have a lot of cabinet space. I have like 2 like big closets when you come into the door, and my bathroom is pretty big. It's a Korean style like wet bathroom, but it's like the shower is kind of like, it has like a little bitty like glass thing where everything doesn't get wet, but like the floor, like all of the floor gets wet, and I have to wear my shoes and so I don't slip and fall. But like my bathroom's pretty nice and it's clean, and yeah, they put in a new AC unit before I moved in, so like it's rocking and it works. I literally don't really turn it on that much because it gets so cold in here if I have it on. But like my apartment's really nice, and I was like, what is she talking about? Like this is awesome. And I've never had a place to myself. Like I've always lived with other people. I've always lived with my family. Like I've never lived alone. So this is like my first time being in a space where I'm alone. So this is like a space that's mine, and I was like, this is perfect for me, honestly. Like I don't need anything like luxury or anything. I'm not low maintenance, but you know what I mean. Like I know some people weren't as lucky. Some people did say like their apartments are pretty dirty. They didn't have a bed, that the people had to order a bed for them, so they had to sleep on the floor for a couple days. I was pretty lucky. I have a table, I have a bed, I've got everything I need, honestly. I guess like the last thing I want to talk about is probably maybe some funny, or they're funny to me, funny stories I've had while I've been here. I will say I heard about people staring at you if you are a foreigner, especially if you are a brown girl like me. At first I thought like, okay, people are gonna stare, but it's not gonna be that bad. Like I'm in a city, so like it shouldn't be that bad, you know? It shouldn't be that bad. Girl, I'm a celebrity. Like I walked down the streets of Incheon and people are like breaking their necks to see me. I remember I was walking to school, and this, like, it was raining, so I had an umbrella. So this like old man's like walking next to me, and like he looks over, he's like, and then like he's moving ahead of me, but like his head never leaves, like we never like release eye contact. And I was like, bro, you better watch out, there's a tree in front of you, chill. And then also I remember like walking down the street, and there like a bus had like pulled up next to me, and it's like the guys that were in the bus were like looking at me, and as they were driving away, they were just like it's really funny. Also, like me and my friend were on the subway together, and we were on the subway, and there wasn't like a lot of people, like there's a decent amount. So like I'm chilling in my seat, I'm on my phone, I'm like this, I'm just scrolling, and then like I look up for a minute to like check what stop we're on. Guys, I look up and I literally jumped because this woman gave me a fright. She gave me a fright. She's sitting like leaned forward, like she's like in the seat, like kind of adjacent to me. She's leaned forward like this. Her eyes are like this big because she's wearing a mask, so it's like she's like in my business. She's in my business, and I didn't notice her at first. So like when I looked up and I saw her just like in my face, I was like, whoa. And then I went back to my phone. I was like, oh, uncomfortable. Especially like if like me and a foreigner friend are together, I think the stairs are worse because they're like two foreigners. Where are they going? One time me and my co-teacher went to the bank, and I forgot my passport in her car. And she was like, can you like, are you like okay enough to like go get it by yourself and like come back? And I was like, yeah, I can do it. So I took her car keys and I was just running through this mall. I was running. She's a runner, she's a track star. I was going. And people were like, what? This foreigner like is sprinting. What is she doing? Should we be scared too? Should we run? And I was like, I was drawing a lot of attention. Like, I was telling my mom, I was like, you don't really think about it, like me growing up in America, like there's so many different kinds of people, and yeah, we still have a lot of issues we have to like sort out, and like just like people being just like not mean to each other or because of the color of their skin or their culture. But like it's not uncommon to see like someone of a different race or background in just walking the streets. But here, like, because there's just so many people that, you know, they don't all look alike, but everyone has the common ethnicity and like common culture, and like to see someone different like walking the streets, like I kind of feel very blessed that I got to grow up in a situation where I got to be like exposed to all sorts of different things. Does that make sense? Like I got to be exposed to all sorts of different people. And like I kind of feel like I kind of took it for granted. Like now that I'm here, I'm like, man, now that I'm not in like my home country, I appreciate how I was able to like have so many different types of friends and experiences living in America. Every country has their own flaws. Even Korea has flaws and stuff, but I do feel like I'm very lucky and blessed to grow up in a situation like that. And I kind of think of me being here and teaching these kids, and kind of like that some of them maybe it's their first experience seeing like a brown teacher, and they've never like seen another foreigner before. Like they tell us a lot in our orientation that like this is the first time like a lot of students will be exposed to foreigners, and like you want to make sure that you are a good example and that you are just on your best behavior all the time, because you want to, you know, make their experiences positive. You don't want them to have negative experiences with foreigners and grow up thinking that we're all this way. And it kind of sucks that you kind of have to be like a representative of yourself and like where you come from. But it's okay. I think I can take on that challenge pretty well. But I feel like this video has just been me rambling. I haven't really had a script. I'm just talking to the camera. Of course, like if you guys have any more questions about my life here, you can always leave a comment and stuff, or DM me on Instagram, or maybe I'll just make a whole other video with more questions people have for me. But yeah, I'm living my life. I'm trying to video as much as I can, but it's a little hard because I feel like my life is so hectic right now. I'm still getting adjusted. I've been here 2 months, but I still don't feel like comfy. Like this is my spot. This is my home. You know what I mean? Like I'm still adjusting. If you like this video, you can like it and you can subscribe to me. And I am in South Korea. South Korea. That's crazy. I love you guys. Alright, you guys. Bye.